This week in July 1953, an armistice agreement was signed ending a brutal 3-year conflict on the Korean peninsula until a final peace agreement could be found. Well, more than 6 decades later, no peace deal has been found, and the armistice has created the most heavily militarized border in the world. 63 years after the ceasefire, that's what's left behind. We take you inside Korea's DMZ and over the line into North Korea. In the middle of rugged terrain stands this newly built modern railway station. Inside, a sign shows this is the way to Pyongyang. But security stations are unmanned and rows of immaculate seats remain empty. The shiny and relatively new Torasan station was built to connect North and South Korea. Sign shows that this is the way to Pyongyang. You can even buy a ticket, and the rail lines are built and all ready to go. But until relations improve, the ticket is just a souvenir because trains aren't running. Beyond the red stop sign lies North Korea. For now, the station is a symbol and hope of what could be improved relations with the North, something that'll likely happen first with talks in a small building in the JSA. Camp Boniface. This is where the Republic of Korea and the U.S. JSA battalions jointly serve under the United Nations command flag. We're briefed on the history of the Korean War, the armistice, and the current status.
The northern boundary line and the southern boundary line were each set at a 2-kilometer distance from the MDL. And this 4-kilometer wide and 248-kilometer long buffer zone defined by the boundaries came to be known as the demilitarized zone, or the DMZ.
The opening salvo in the Cold War. The Korean War was fought from 1950 until 1953 when the armistice ended open warfare. But the war has unofficially been on for more than 6 decades now. As recently as in August 1976, an overwhelming force of club and axe-wielding North Korean guards assaulted UN security personnel while they monitored a civilian tree-trimming work party here in the JSA, killing 2 UNC officers. Unlike threats from Iran or a serious civil war, the Korean situation has been unresolved for 63 years. Its most recognized flashpoint right here, Panmunjom. This is the joint security area along the Korean border. We're walking towards the line that divides the 2 Koreas. I have to actually walk this way because we can't shoot right, we can't shoot left, we can only shoot forward. There are a lot of restrictions on our cameras. Now, this is the Blue Room, which is a focal point of the JSA, and we'll be walking inside the room. The focal point of the JSA, the UN Military Armistice Commission's Conference Room T2. It is here that a ceasefire was negotiated after the Korean War. In fact, it's still used for negotiations.
The microphones on the table are monitored and recorded 24 hours a day. They also represent the military demarcation line, which is further extended to my left and to my right by the concrete steps outside this building.
So literally, these microphone lines here on the table defines the line. So South Korea on this side and North Korea on this side. On July 27, 1953, the Korean Armistice Agreement was signed, in practice ending the bloody 3-year Korean War. Signed by U.S. representing the United Nations Command, North Korea's Korean People's Army, and the Chinese People's Volunteer Army, it was designed to ensure a complete cessation of hostilities and of all acts of armed force until a final peaceful settlement is achieved. No final peaceful settlement has been achieved yet. This concrete slab is literally the border. We're shooting from the northern side. 17 inches by 5 inches concrete. That's it. That marks the border since 1953. A line runs down the middle of these huts. Half of it is owned by South Korea, half is owned by North Korea.
The gray building on the far right is the North Korean Recreation Center. Now, despite its name, this building has the purpose of keeping 10 to 20 armed KPA soldiers whenever inter-Korean talks are held here in the JSA.
North Korean and South Korean soldiers stand here every single day and stare at each other, both sides constantly watching every move the other makes. This border is armed to the teeth. The area all around is heavily mined, remnants from the Korean War more than 6 decades ago. Amidst the minefields is a bridge. North Korea is on the other side. There is actually a cement wall to prevent defectors from coming over to the south. This was a site of the prisoner exchange that followed the armistice. Once a prisoner crossed the bridge, his fate was sealed forever. Hence the name Bridge of No Return. The border, very tense at the best of times, is coupled with an almost seeming serenity here at the DMZ, the safest yet the most dangerous battlefield in the world. 63 years after the ceasefire, it's still a lonely place.